Ooh, yeah, the everyone, welcome to this beautiful, amazing, incredible experience. That's right. Now that Christmas is over, it's time to go ahead and get rid of the post-Christmas. What best way than out with some old lore? Back in the good old days, we used to do a Black Desert and there was Kamasylve and it was the best place to AFK fish and you could actually make money and you had to run through Kamasylve, which was a scary place filled with monsters, etc. etc. You get the point. We're going back to a simpler time when people in chat were not talking about whatever they're talking. Sailing was simple and non-existent. You have the one, the only, the introduction of the elf. But of course, we are too chic to call them elves. We call them, what was it? Ganelles and what was the other one?
Vedirs.
Vedirs and the male version.
Luthragon.
The Luthragons. Oh, imagine if only there was this word that begins with E and ends with elf. That would engroup this entire group of people. That would be a lot easier for us. But alas, we live in a complex world. And in a complex world, long before the advent of physics, modern medicine, and common knowledge, we decided to call them Vedirs, Ganelles, and Luthragon. Now, it's quite simple. Vedirs, Dark Elves. Ganelles, Basic Elves. Luthragons, Basic Elves, but male. Wow. Now that you're caught up with the whole lore of the Kamasylve and all the bestiology and whatever you want to call it, let's go ahead.
Ethnicity.
No, it's not ethnicity. Yeah, I don't know what to call it. Well, now that you're caught up anyway, here we are to do something that a lot of people don't know, which is called Ascension. You see, back in the days when they actually wanted to do something with this game, they were more creative. Instead of just copy and pasting the same thing over and over again, they created a new system. Like this class starts with its very specific awakening weapon. Yes, you have the awakening weapon right away.
Do you does it remind of someone?
Yes. If you notice, there are also a new class that has the same system. And what is that? It's the well, it's the latest class. Come on, man. Come on, guys. Anyway, so while we're waiting for them to actually finish the lore of the latest class, which is it's kind of
AKA
like
releasing the bio on the website.
yes, it's kind of like when a new game comes out, right, or a new technology. You're not the first one to buy it, right? Because you buy a new game, you pay like $120 to just get the game, but then it's filled with bugs and you can't even do anything. So why not just wait until the game is on sale and it actually works? The same thing. We're waiting for the scholar to actually have a lore because that's what we care about. Because hammers have disappointed me in this game, so I don't want to play a class filled with disappointment. Yes, I have over 20 tries on that pen black star, that thing that just doesn't go to pen. I don't know what they do with it. I don't know what kind of sacrifice and inhuman sacrifice I have to do for my family to be able to enchant. But alas, in my opinion, hammers are riddled with disappointment. Therefore, I don't want to play the disappointment class until it is fully done. So then I can feel disappointment, and I know that there's no way they can fix it. So, we're here with simpler times, right? Class Archer. Now, what are Archer? Archer is the class released for all the people who thought that they were too cool to play the cute girls rangers, and they are the true edgy e-boys. That's why they need to have that male character to have the pure testosterone so they can truly show off that they're something e-boys. Because obviously, if you open the Archer's beauty album, you can see the true manliness of all of these classes. Look at this. Tell me that. Look at this. Can you feel it? Can you see it? The pure testosterone pulling from being able to play a male class, which is actually a female now. Like, look at all of this. Yes, even when you give the ability to people to play a male class, they will go ahead and transform it into a fierce trans girl, uwu, cute female archer, uwu, pew pew, facial hair when Dante from Devil May Cry, cause why not? Levi Ackerman, lone wolf, eventually male, // Giao Nightshade, smooth criminal, Legolas. You get the point. We are in levels. Let's see of all time what the archers want. Yes, man, he's a female hunter saved. Look at those beautiful things. Look at the wolf. He really shows you what it means. Lady Archer, you're a lone wolf. No one understands you. You're out in the wild, in the woods. You have only but a bow and a crossbow. There's a reason why they call it a great bow. They don't know. They don't know what you're capable of. They see you in Velia chilling with 200 AP, but they don't understand that actually you're a rank 1 PvPer. You have a dark past of killing adventurers. You're just chilling there.
You went all your jokes all in at the beginning? Okay.
Okay, so now
So now, there is a peculiarity about the archer, despite his edginess.
massive muscles.
Swittzy, do you know what happened when the archer was released?
A lot of e-boys were happy.
Okay, but let's say you are in 2017, 18, I can't remember. And the archer is the newest class released. Black Desert announced the new class. You are eager to play it. You select the class.
Yeah.
What happens when you start the game?
The game crashes.
Despite
I remember good old day video. Yes. You start the game in Kamasylve.
sort of, you started the game with different tutorial, basically. Back in the days when the archer was released, you used to start with the journey begins, and you had to talk to Eden, then talk to Armstrong, because it was that time when you used to start from Westergard camp, and talk with some people around the Westergard camp, and then straight into a battle against the Red Nose, basically.
Right.
But the archer had something peculiar, because he didn't actually start from the Westergard camp, but from a mysterious place. You had a unique start of the game that had to continue in the Ascension. Why are we both playing the archer? Because I'm not sure my Ascension questline is not bugged. I created the archer back in the day. I used to level up characters until 55 because that was how far the rewards for the new class went at the time. And then leave it there, because in the end the awakening was something new. I wasn't that interested in lore back in the days. It was like something, okay, I'm going to read things, experiment things, but I wasn't as interested as I am now with Swittzy, of course. So I was just like, okay, it has the Ascension, but in the end I'm kind of always stuck, because back in the day you had to actually have a gear to explore the lore properly, at least the newest zone. So I left it level 55, and recently I leveled it up with Swittzy, in order to be able to have access to the Ascension. That was supposed to be the continuation of the very peculiar start of the archer. So I don't know if I'll have to do the same things Swittzy did, and we are about to find out.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hehe. What's with the long face? Do you have something on your mind? You look sad. Not homesick, are you? How about you go see the sacred tree Kamasylve? It was created by the goddess you call Mother. Why? Just go. Kamasylve, go. Technically, you're supposed to spend a whole, time trying to turn on the tree, like a broken Christmas tree light, but... Okay, my guy just gave up running halfway. What is it? And a sweetness in the air. He leaves dancing in the wind. Kamasylve, the greatest tree by the goddess Sylvia, embodies the energy of life. Perhaps it's a good idea to water Kamasylve with some purified water.
Do you have purified water?
Probably. I have some. No, we water the tree. We're big little gardeners. You sprinkle 5 bottles of purified water around the area. Clean water seeps into the ground. Because of course, when you water a tree, you don't just, you just buy 5 bottles, all of them straight away. As you water Kamasylve, it looks much livelier than before. I trust you, bro. It only appears that you might not be the only one who came to see Kamasylve, huh? She's trying to hide her aura, but she can't fool me. I can sense her dark aura from over there. It's probably bad news, but I think it'd be interesting to check out. Find out where the dark aura. Oh, Vedir. We'll meet again, foolish watcher. Whatever you mean. Whatever that. Ah, this is getting interesting. Are you just going to stand there? We should follow. Ah yeah, let me just follow the thing that disappeared. One with the black spirit.
Yeah.
The slippery one? There, she went that way. Are you going to follow her? I had a feeling something interesting will happen. Hehe. Okay, bro. Wow, that's over 2 kilometers. Damn,
And
that thing is gone.
we have the horsey, worry not.
Yeah, look on my screen. How beautiful this place is. I sure love as well. What was it? The master graphics?
What about using the fireflies as I'm doing?
You using the firefly. You and your fireflies. I have a firecracker.
Fireflies. Just use your the light of your
Have light
on the fairy. You don't have it anymore.
No, I don't have it. Stuck now in this animation. Why did I click it? God forbid me for actually wanting light in this life. Just get me out of here. There's been an ongoing debate. However, I'm not very fond of the master. It's okay. So we have a Vedir who went over the Kamasylve tree for some reason.
Just buy some fireflies, please. Otherwise, you're not going to see anything since it's night.
Without reason. Even blossom is a mysterious occasion when you think about it.
Okay.
Now that we are elves that can actually see in the dark, even though normally,
We are all the same in this world. No differences.
wonder what is happening. So that Vedir just popped up to the Kamasylve. Called us we, and then disappeared. What are your opinions?
Are you asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you.
Well, you are going to find out because if I tell you now, it's a spoiler. There is a reason why Vedir, or better, probably, most likely, an Ahib, told us that we are weak and seems quite pissed to us, at us.
Yes, because we didn't give them enough pity.
Okay, let's have a quick recap. Who are the Ganelle and who are the Vedir?
I mean, I explained that in the beginning. It's quite simple.
In the actual lore of Black Desert, how were they born according to the legend?
Well, we're not sure how they were born, but according to
The legend.
They were generated from goddess Sylvia. Something.
Transformed
From-
into Kamasylve. And the Kamasylve tree bore fruits, right?
Yes.
Some
Okay.
fruits were born under the sun, some others under the moon. The tree conceived two different fruits, one with the sun, the Ganelle, and one with the moon, the Vedir.
So if you ate a Ganelle, do you think they would be tasty?
That wasn't the point. My point was, someone is missing in this tale, don't you think? Where are the Luthragor? Where is the archer?
No. The Vedir left behind a faint trail.
She may still be watching from somewhere nearby.
Ah, thank you. The trail has gone cold, but she still might be nearby. Let me help you. Continue tracking her down. Just when things are about to be interesting. We can't give up now, can we? Find the Vedir using the Vedir tracking. Oh. Oh, that's easy. Oh, there she is.
And does it look like an Ahib? Or like a
Oh.
Vedir?
Yeah, that looks like an Ahib.
Yep.
And here. Bam.
Lemao, you completed it for me as well. I still have the scroll.
I thought you were gonna lose. She's a lot stronger than I thought. Remember, guys, that this was back in the day when you actually had to do stuff to
Put some
do quests,
effort in it.
Phew, that was close. You even lost one of your arrows. Well, let's find that arrow of yours, shall we? We can't leave it here and go.
Yeah,
oh,
of
now,
course we can't.
Yeah, now they care about. Oh, I dropped my arrow like 100 meters over the hill. Yes.
Where
and
were
it
you
was-
aiming?
Yeah, where was I aiming, brother? Damn, this guy is actually pretty bad at using archery. A broken arrow lays bare on the ground, surrounded by remnants of your recent year's battle. It was the battle for the gods. Wait. Look over there! A wolf appeared when you picked up the broken arrow. The wolf aura seems very similar to that of yours. Do you know each other?
And in fact, when the archer was released, a new pet was introduced as well. Wolf.
Ah, yes, it was the black desertian year of the wolf. So
Do
obviously,
you want to take a picture with the wolf?
yeah. Just... Move my whole game on the freaking some reason. Anyway, the Sylvian wolf is standing in front of you and shining brightly. Like the Black Spirit said, Wolf's aura feels somewhat familiar. By being the first encounter with a wolf, something feels familiar. The wolf lowered its body as you stepped closer. Feel a familiar aura from the wolf, so you want to try communing with it. Reach out your hand to the Sylvian wolf. You carefully reach out your hand to commune with the Sylvian wolf. Isn't this great? Like I said, you should have always listened to me. I knew the power was too similar to that of yours. I'm glad we pursued her all the way here. What did I tell you? I told you something interesting would happen. Now that you have this new power, why don't you test it out? What's the use of having such power if it's not even used? Wait, that was it? You've become completely different. You aren't the same person you used to be. Really? That was it?
And as I was saying, that's why I want to wait for the scholar to release the biography. Because just like the archer, there is a tiny little bit of issue with Ascension. There's not much said, and that's why they usually have to publish the bio on the website.
Brother in Christ, did they even try caring about them? That was... I thought the whole point of awakening was to find out more about your class, because that's why you're put in a specific class, specific race and gender, because it's part of the ongoing story and you're supposed to discover it. I didn't discover shit. There's a wolf. I touched the wolf and that's my power. This is like this was like a commercial for cars. Like, you touch the wolf and then you go faster, you're stronger, and then it's imagine a car with a wolf logo on it. What?
It is true also that there is a special secondary quest that you have access to with the archer.
Go on, I'm just trying to get the adventure code so we can...
Very fair point. So I'd like to read the story of the archer.
Yes. Is it something I could find on the adventure board, or is it...
In theory, there should be... Try to look for archer. Is...
Oh, yes.
Shall I read?
Yes, go ahead.
The last champion of Sylvia. The Kamasylve, the tree of life for the inhabitants of Kamasylvia, was weeping. The daughters of Sylvia were turning on each other. The Ganelle and the Vedir were slaughtering each other relentlessly. Yet, according to some, the Ahib, a faction of the Vedir, had grand plans for the future. They were said to have tasted the sweet nectar of power from the Kamasylve and were looking to take over Kamasylvia and bend nature to their will. There was just one possible roadblock. The Kamasylve had a near-forgotten defense force that protected the roots of the tree. These incredible warriors so far away could hamper their plans, and so the Ahib had placed a sealing spell on the roots to cut any possible interference. Whereas Ganelle and Vedir were daughters of the goddess Sylvia, the Lutragon were the sons. Believed to be buried deep under the roots of Kamasylve, they kept watching with minimal contact of the world above. In the darkness, they built the fortress Adùir, a monumental fortress entwined with the Kamasylve, the deceased tree of light. Yet, at the root of the tree, the goddess' voice rang clear. It echoed through the roots and comforted them. They knew that if the voice of their mother could be heard, then the surface world still stood. One day, the voice faded. Much like the Ganelle, their power was drawn from the goddess, and when the voice faded, they lost what minimal contact they had with the other realm. Without contact, the Luthragon were beginning to feel lost. An elder of the Luthragon stood up, a veteran of Adùir who was present when the first foundations of the fortress were laid stood up to reassure them. Although something has happened up there, now is the time we must trust our sisters. Our faith that they can deal with any issue must remain, as we must remain here to protect the roots. They will stand strong, as we must stand strong, but we must remain here with the light of Sylvia in our hearts to pierce the everlasting darkness. Many years passed. The contact had not been re-established, nor could they hear the voice of their goddess. The silence was deafening. With each day that passed, each day their light felt dimmer, as if the darkness was creeping into their core. One day, the lookouts of Adùir noticed something in the distance. An ominous dark cloud rolled towards them. A horn blew in the distance and then was quickly extinguished. The scout had spent his dying breath on warding Adùir. A second and third horn blew and were quickly snuffed out. The Luthragon in Adùir wasted no time in mobilizing. As they manned the ramparts, the horror of their enemy became apparent. A gargantuan rolling cloud of darkness was rushing towards them. The darkness roared, a discordant cacophony of sound. Wails and screeches, cries of pain and pleasure and of harmonic and dissonant tones, a maddening symphony that could drive fear into any warrior's heart. Yet the Luthragon stood their ground as the cold rolled nearer. The generals ordered their soldiers to nock their arrows and aim towards the cloud. Adùir was in silence except for the calls from the generals. Even with approaching wall of sound, the soldiers were quiet, listening for the commands to release. The darkness was just 1,000 feet away, then 700 feet, and then suddenly 500 feet. The generals ordered the release of the arrows which soared through the air and rained down on the encroaching enemy, yet the billowing wall of darkness seemed unaffected. They knocked again. This time the release call was instant, but again ineffective. The wall of darkness was now 100 feet from Adùir. The Luthragon manning the walls were ready for a fight. The tsunami of darkness towered over the walls and crashed down upon them. Almost instantly, many lives were lost. Yet, those who could still fight were hanging on. Suddenly, the dark spirits became mesmerized by a bright light that appeared from the center of Adùir. Those spirits that saw the light moved towards it, and they shuddered as the light touched their darkness. A young Luthragon was the first to notice. The blood of his fallen comrades was pooling around his feet. There was no hope left in Adùir, and he wanted to believe that the light was a beacon of hope. He broke what little rank was left and dashed across the battlefield, heading for the light. "You coward! How dare you turn your back on the will of our mother? Defend the lines!" the elder of the fortress screamed out to him. In a fleeting second, the young Luthragon hesitated, remembering his pledge. "I am the arrow that shattered darkness. I am the watcher of the roots. My life is pledged to the walls of Adùir." He wanted to stop, to return to the fight, yet something was calling to him. Then he felt warmth. A bright light surrounded him, comforting him, begging him to follow. He could feel that this was Sylvia's will, perhaps the last of her energy. He screamed back at the elder, "Step aside, elder, mother's will is pulling me through this rift." And with a flash, he was gone. And this is an issue because this is technically how the archer was supposed to make his pact with the black spirit. So, yeah.
Yeah, we still don't know anything about it.
Ascension. The moon was high in the sky, lighting up Kamasylvia with a beautiful pale white light. The young Luthragon stood in front of the sacred tree, taking its spectacular luminescent glow. His mind raced as he was searching for direction. He was suffocating in this new open space, but more than that, he was drowning in his mind. Where should he go from here? How could he continue to follow Mother's will? The wind brushed against his face as it blew a leaf from the tree from the branches. He started at the leaf intent, looking for an answer on his million questions. His purpose was clear before. He was born to protect the roots of the sacred tree. In darkness he found comfort, and now in light of the world he was out of sorts. This world was foreign to him. Yet he tried to consume knowledge about the world around him. He discovered books that told of the war between his sister, their violent conflicts, the death and rebirth of Kamasylve. All these things were not known to him before. Yet one paragraph caught his attention. He learned that the Vedir had placed an enchantment on the roots of the tree. Yet the author was not sure why. It dawned on the young Luthragon that it was they who sealed the connection between the realms. A new feeling overcame him, something he had never experienced before: rage. Why is there bloodshed between the sisters? How could they lock away their brothers? They are all there from Sylvia's will. They are all made due to her love and affection. Why do they not share in the joy that is life? Lost in rage that bubbled within, he heard leaves rustle in distance. He felt a presence watching him, and as he returned, the figure vanished, leaving behind black smoke. He didn't need to see who it was, as he instantly knew it was one of his Vedir sisters, the ones who had sealed the sacred tree. He dashed through the forest, chasing the trail of black smoke. He ran as fast as he could. He could not close the gap. The crossbow he was wielding was good for a short range, but aiming accurately through the trees was impossible. He stopped to catch his breath, droning the massive great bow of his back. He steadied himself, knocked his arrow, and pulled back the giant bowstring. This time seemed to stop around him, and his weight to release the arrow. He could see that the wind trajectory around the forest and adjusted his aim. His target entered in his sight, and he released the arrow. The leaves of the trees around the arrow rustled as this massive arrow made its way towards the target. The arrow seemed to roar as it thundered through the trees. The young Luthragon walked the path the arrow took through the trees. He was confident that the arrow channeled his determination through the wind to connect to his target. Yet he found the arrow lodged into a tree. He had missed his target. As he pulled the arrow from the tree, a voice reached out to him from behind. "Do you think you could hit me with that sluggish arrow? Go back to Adùir and protect the roots, Watcher. You should not be in this realm." As the Luthragon turned to the direction of the voice, he saw a powerful spellbound Kriegsmesser dig into the ground, which is the typical weapon of the Vedirs and Dark Knight, specifically in-game. A dark energy erupted from the ground, causing the young Luthragon to get knocked down. The pain in his body was excruciating. His insides felt as though they were being ripped apart from the impact. The young Luthragon summoned the last of his strength and stabbed the Vedir with his arrow. Once the ground settled around him, the Luthragon looked around him. The Vedir was gone. However, a trail of blood gave away the location of his enemy. He tried to get up to follow the trail, yet his body was still weakened from the blast. He got to his feet and steadied himself on a tree. He felt the pain course through his body, and every inch of his being was crying out in agony. The arrow that he stabbed the Vedir with was broken, and as he held it in his hand, he whispered, "Mother, I am doubtful that I will be able to fulfill the purpose you have bestowed upon me." He gripped the broken arrow tighter. He was bitter and resented the fact that he could not chase his target. Suddenly, a brilliantly radiant light entered his body. He thought he was hallucinating at first because of the blood loss, but the warm feeling that comforted him felt familiar. It was that he spotted a Sylvan wolf heading towards him. The wolf walked closer, pacing around the young Luthragon in a circle. It was the first time he had laid eyes on such a wolf, yet it felt familiar. His confusion continued to grow until he realized the great bow on his back was resonating with the Sylvan wolf. Although not sure, he assumed that the wolf was a projection of the bow. Stoic yet powerful, he was convinced it was a gift from Mother. Mother Sylvia had to know everything that would transpire. This was her way to safeguarding his life so that he may fulfill his purpose. He reached and put his hand on the wolf's head. It let out a long and piercing howl, and it dispersed into light, becoming one with the Luthragon. Your destiny is in your hands. Walk the path you believe in. Be sure that any step you take leads to fulfill your purpose. The Luthragon could not tell who the voice belonged to, yet it didn't matter. His mind was cleared of all confusion. His pains were relieved. He was no longer hesitant to venture out in the world. This is the path that I choose. This is my destiny.
Oh, and also,
Not
Which-
really matching the
yeah.
current lore, to be honest.
Sorry, this is very confusing because okay, so what the Ascension text we just read is supposed to embody what we just did in the quest, but it did not.
Basically, the text on the website is canonically what it should have happened in the quest with Justice.
And it didn't. That's my. Okay, so we were confused. Now we're no longer confused. Does that mean we get to be metrosexual archers now? Is it? Have to wait until. So they never updated this questline?
No, because in theory, one of the theory was that if I remember correctly, the beginning of the quest apparently, as far as they say, I totally don't remember what used to happen. So I have very vague memories. On the lore channel of the official Black Desert Discord, some lore masters said that in the OG quest you used to start from what I guess was supposed to be the fortress of Adùir and fight Zvariak, the serpent. And in theory, you should have had a part of the questline instanced to have this battle. Hi. But the issue is that this didn't happen. And I don't know if they want to cut out the whole part of the Zvariak since it's not in the website. But the issue is that even the canon part you can find on the website is not matching the current lore in game.
Yeah, what I wanted to say is that if this is the true, then I really wish that they will really rework Serendia, Calphion, and Kamasylve then, because
Serendia is coming.
Serendia is coming, but they need to work hardcore on this and just stop releasing new regions. How is this in the game? This is not acceptable. There's no lore.
Basically, long story short, the whole point of the story of the Archer is that usually Luthragon are supposed to be confined to the roots of Kamasylve. And for some reason, that is supposed to be fighting the coming of Adùir and whatnot. Sylvia decided to tell the archer, okay, you are a different boy, you are a special boy. Instead of the like protecting the roots as all your brothers, and since your sister fucked up, now you have to choose your destiny. Like, that's long story, and you have a doggo now. The long story short, this is what happens in the lore of the archer.
Oh yeah, actually, because now that I did the thing, yeah, you have more.
Yeah, of course. It is exactly the same concept of the scholar.
Ah, that's right.
And in fact, like he's supposed to imbue the light of Kamasylve when he fights. That's why he's so shiny. He has one of the peculiar how can I call them, questline, awakening questline.
Yes.
And what else? Like, don't even have that much of a description in the great bow that you get with the questline, because it just says like a great bow crafted for adventurers who train themselves earnestly, can be used to practice skills. So like nothing about Kamasylve branches or anything.
You are indeed. I'm a crab.
And so yeah, that's pretty much it. Like basically the whole explanation on, hey, how did you get out of the other realm, since you were supposed to be stuck there because Sylvia wanted it, which is weird because technically, as far as we know, Sylvia is gone right now, so it's not like, if this is canon, it means that Sylvia is still somewhere, probably getting ready to fight Adùir.
Yes, but then again, like, yeah, this essentially the lore of the archer is, carpe diem, brother. You just go and live your life, right? And that makes no sense.
Sylvia said YOLO.
Yeah, yeah. And why did he make a pact with the Black Spirit then? Because this would be technically before we did the pact with the Black Spirit. Because this is something that you would recall. If you start from the fortress, you go out, you talk with the wolf recognizes you. It's a bit of power that you absorb. So like, where's the Black Spirit in all of this? Makes sense why for example, it makes sense why more the Corsair would take a pact with the Black Spirit, but whatever this is discredited. It's just no.
And as I was saying, though, there is another quest line that we'll do in the future, probably next week. Exclusive, if I remember correctly. Let me check my notes. Concerning the archer. Where did I put?
Yeah, just check quickly also like the knowledge to see if it has any particular text. No, it's exactly the story that basically the story you read on.
Yeah, in theory, yes.
I gotta say, guys, not feeling that Robin Hood, that archer vibe that we quite interesting choices, I guess, for the lore. But definitely, guys, please stop releasing new region. Rework what you have. Because already the lore of these classes don't match. Every single awakening and succession is no longer up to date. And Celestia stabbed us in the back.
Yeah, it's called the Watchers of Adùir, and it starts from. I will show you. So we can do it in another episode. Okay, if I remember correctly, it should start from here.
Yeah, I'm flabbergasted. Gobsmacked. None of this. I knew it was bad.
Yeah, and that's why I want them to release on the website the scholar first, because you might say, well, they did this mistake with the archer once. The last classes they released had very well done awakening and succession, mainly awakening questlines. So you would expect that the scholar as well has better outcome in a certain way, but actually, as far as I read on the lore section of the official Discord, it doesn't have such thing. So yes, one of the critiques moved against the scholar is that, just like a bit of Ulukita as well, she feels incomplete. And most likely the questline won't be reworked, but they will simply release her biography on the website. So at this point, I prefer to wait for the release of the biography of the scholar on the website, so at least we have something to talk about. Because as far as I understood, her Ascension is very much like this one. So basically you don't know anything, because it's true that if you know the story of Kamasylvia, you can understand something. But if you don't even have that, you like there's no much to understand, to be fair.
We do not have the right to choose.
Okay, then probably it's a questline that you can do only with characters. Yeah, basically, that's very funny. To find out about the archer, you have to do the Adùir quest that you have to do with a class that it is not the archer. Do you remember, like, the invitation from S?
Yes.
That all the classes but the Nova could do?
Yeah.
It's the same exact logic. It's a questline giving knowledge about the archer, but you can't do it with the archer.
Thank you everyone for watching and joining us in this wonderful adventure. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, night, whatever it is, and we'll see you next time and we'll find out more adventures. Bye!